How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and welcome back to Local Man Cries It's Not Dervish. So I was planning on reviewing these on stream because the last one's dropped at like 3 p.m., but this one dropped at 6 a.m., so we're doing this in the morning. So I haven't seen anything on this whatsoever. I have the blog post open in the background as well, so we're gonna watch the reveal for Evoker, Amalgam, and Conduit. It's not Dervish, I'm sad. And we're gonna see what we've got here. So I'm currently leaning towards Ritualist. These are also my 3 least played classes, all in this batch. I don't really play much Elementalist. Revenant, no one really plays. And Engineer, I think, is one of also the least played classes in the game. So, that being said, let's see if any of these intrigue me, shall we? I'm hoping it's good.
Evocation was a veiled practice among Norn shamans, but the spirits of the wild have encouraged them to share this practice with Tyria. Evokers channel the elements to summon forth a familiar to join them in battle. Summon a cunning fox familiar to throw flaming projectiles at your enemies. Call forth a gentle otter and quench the battlefield with cleansing waves.
Oh, that's cute.
Electrify the scene with a hair cast from lightning and storm. And break ground with the help of an earthen toad, fortifying yourself. These familiars will be your strongest allies in battle. Protect them as they protect you, and help the spirits of the wild connect once again with the greater world as the Evoker.
Okay, so we've got Budget Catalyst. We've got Catalyst with a Hoppy Boy. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of not what I was expecting. I was hoping for, like, a single element type of Elementalist. With, you know, Evoker, evoke a single element, focus in on one, lock in on one. But, yeah, that's basically Budget Catalyst, it seems like. So, we'll have to see how the blog post breaks it down, and then eventually there's the gameplay reveal and whatnot coming. But the familiars are cute. They're kind of cool. So they all sit around you like, what can I compare it to? There's something I could compare it to, but it's not coming to mind right now. But it just, like, sits on your shoulder and shoots out extra projectiles, I guess. So, okay, cool. It's like a Vamp Sig, basically, except it's a full elite spec. Okay, maybe not the best comparison, but still. Alright, we'll review it again at the end, I think.
Surin Ingenuity has done it again. With the creation of the mercurial mold, an amalgam can attune their microbial biology to their new ferrofluid friend to enhance their body in battle. Shred your enemies as you throw out globs of slime to form flying discs that cut anything in their path. Command your ooze to form around you as you melt to avoid incoming attacks.
Okay, we're Silver Surfer.
And deal out damage to enemies that stand too close. And don't forget to bash the enemy as you cleave them with a blunt mold. As an amalgam, bond with your mold and adapt to the ever-changing battlefield. A mysterious entity is...
God, restaurants would hate that guy. Fucking meld with the mold, dude. Oh, God, ew. I mean, like, okay, we're literally Silver Surfer. Nobody expected that. Absolutely nobody expected that. That looks like the Bladestorm from, Virtuoso. Yeah, I'm not one to make Guild Wars 2 hate content, but I'm kind of underwhelmed with this year's Elite Specs, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Ritualist is kind of the only one that's excited me so far, so... I need Conduit to blow me away. Oh wait, I thought Conduit was gonna be the Elemental or the fucking Engineer. I didn't realize it was Amalgam. Oh shit, I thought Amalgam was the fucking Rev. Okay. All right, Conduit, blow me away. You're the last one. I'm probably banning Ritualist.
At play, Razah has been watching Tyria.
Razah?
Channel their powers, assume different forms,
that's pretty sick.
And devastate the battlefield as a conduit.
So
Channel
Ritualist
Razah
2.
and gain ascension skills. Gain their powers, but only for a limited time. Learn their abilities to better understand the best path to victory through your connection to the assassin, warrior, mesmer, monk, and dervish. Unleash powers that have not been seen since the legends themselves.
They brought all of them
Through your
back?
connection to Razah, find strength, resilience, courage, and purpose as the conduit.
Okay, hold on. That's better than I expected. We're back in business. We're back in business. One more time.
And devastate the battlefield as a conduit. Channel Razah and gain ascension skills. Gain their powers, but only for a limited time. Learn their abilities.
Is that fucking SOJ? What is that? Is that SOJ or reversal? Well, reversal fortune already exists.
Learn their abilities to better
Okay, that's cool.
understand the best path to victory. Through your connection to the assassin,
Yeah.
warrior, mesmer, monk, and dervish. Unleash.
So, oh my god, he pulls out a scythe! Oh, they did make Dervish! Ah, fuck! Okay, I take it back.
Powers that have not been seen since the legends themselves.
Oh, that's sick.
Through your
Okay, although Razah is a ritualist.
connection to Razah, find strength, resilience.
Oh, that's fucking sick. Does he do a massive spin with the spirit?
Courage, and purpose as the conduit.
Okay, that's hype as fuck. I mean, like, wait, so does it remaster every elite spec then? Is that what happens? Cause that's Shiro. Wait, these are different icons. Hang on. Like the Malik. Is that a different icon from previous Maliks? Oh, okay. So I think what happens is you have like the Razah button, which will be your third button or whatever, or your thing over the HUD. And then based on whichever one you have active, you'll tap it and it'll like turn into an evoked stance or like a extra stance. And so Shiro becomes assassin. Hang on, one more time.
Learn their abilities to better understand the best path.
Wait, so it is exactly what I kind of wanted, where they evoke all the fucking... They evoke all the spirits, but instead of it being dervish avatars, you evoke assassin.
Victory. Through your connection to the assassin, warrior.
Warrior, although warrior already exists.
Mesmer,
for this is Malik's. Monk. That's crazy work.
And dervish. Unleash powers that have not been seen since the legends themselves. Through your connection to Razah, find strength, resilience, courage, and purpose as the conduit.
Okay. Conduit won me over. Amalgam is a fucking restaurant's worst nightmare. And, Evoker, you get a frog. You get a frog. Okay, I want to see the read-up on these. Let's see what we got here. So, Evoker, Spiritual Summoners. Having toppled the powerful Jotun civilization in the previous Dragon Rise, Jormag was poised... I'll skip the lore bits for speed reasons. I will pause on them for you, though, if you want to pause. Alright, moving on. Familiar friends. Bro, Scrit Happens was the best one by far. Every evoker starts with a choice. Which element do you want to specialize in? I take it back! Alright, they're winning me over. They did it. They finally did it. Selecting an elemental skill in the F5 slot will specialize in that element, granting a few bonuses. First, the attunement skill for that element will have significantly reduced recharge time. In addition, some of the evoker's traits and utility skills will be affected by your chosen element. Why didn't you sell that in the fucking trailer, bro? Just this is better than you get a dog. Come on, bro. Like, your marketing team needs help. Like, Christ. Alright, fuck. Alright. In addition, some of the evoker's traits and utility skills will be affected by your chosen element. We're making a fire mage. And most importantly, a familiar of that element will join you on your adventures. Oh, so do you only get the familiar of the specialized slot then? Oh, that's cool. So the dude beside them is like a PvP indicator of what element you're specialized in. Which is kind of more useful for the enemy than it is for you, but, you know, fire specialists, like, they know everyone's gonna do. Will be accompanied by the cunning fox, water joined by the mischievous otter, air by the agile hare, which has killing spree apparently, while earth gets the stalwart toad. The familiar has 2 different skills that are available in the F5 slot once they're fully charged. A basic skill and an empowered skill. The basic skill is charged as the evoker uses their own weapon skills, requiring a total of 6 to fully charge. Ironically, that makes it very difficult to pull off if you're playing with Meteor Shower, but you know. Weapon skills that match the familiar's element will count for double. Okay, I take it back. You just use 3 what is it, 3, 2, 4? Yeah. And you should charge one immediately. Meaning that only 3 fire attunement skills will be required to charge the fox's skill. Okay, yeah, so they're thinking about staff heavily then. The familiar's empowered skill will unlock after using its basic skill 3 times. And that's when the evoker and their familiar unleash their full potential. The evoker is a flexible specialization capable of filling a number of roles depending on which element you specialize in. Oh yeah, there's gonna be like toad specialization builds, water otters. It's gonna be. There's a lot to do with that way. Those leaning towards fire, make sure to focus on condition damage. The fox will complement those builds well. Okay, that's going to be an interesting choice. But I mean, there's a Sully staff build that runs both Condi Burning and Power Fire Staff, which I think is on the channel right now. If not, I'll remake it again with Evoker as the main spec and go from there. Yeah, Engie's a little bit of a weird one. We'll get there in a second. The fox's basic skill is called Ignite. Alright, we're going back to League of Legends. Can't fucking escape it. When activated, the fox will will launch a fiery missile at your target, dealing some damage and inflicting burning. An enemy struck by this skill in quick succession will receive additional stacks of burning. Okay, it does power damage. That's fine. After using Ignite 3 times and hopefully inflicting a good chunk of burning, evokers will gain access to the empowered skill Conflag. Alright, now we're Desperate Warlocks. Using this skill will summon the fox near your target, after which it'll perform a leaping strike that inflicts burning and spreads all burning from that target to nearby enemies. Up to a limit, we thought this spreading 1500 burning stacks might be a bit too powerful. That's a callback to nerfed Epidemic, but yeah, okay, that's cool. You literally get burning Epidemic. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I might actually play that then. That's pretty dope. Cool. Alright. The Amalgam. Oozing with power, brother. It's slime time. Alright, bonded with their mercurial mold, which we have no idea how that implements into the story, but sure, apparently we can mold with slime. Amalgams are engineers with unparalleled adaptive capabilities. By being able to freely customize which morph skills they select, you can arrive to any fight with the right tools to survive and dish out damage. Amalgams can temporarily meld with their slime, resulting in an altered or mutated form. An amalgam experimentation results in a malleable fighter. Haha, very funny. They can always find the edge in combat. No, they can't. They're a slime. There is technically no edge in slime. Amalgams replace the engineer's utility tool belt abilities with morph abilities. There are several morph skills, and you can select which one to fight with in the same manner. You select your utility skills. The morph skills command the mercurial mold to shapeshift in different forms, such as a shield, defensive spikes, or even a massive sword. So, Hollow Forge on a budget, I guess? They gave Hollow Forge to Luminary, quite literally. So this is just Tool Belt Hollow Forge. I see you down there. Become one with the mold. Your elite Tool Belt skill is replaced by Evolve, which is basically what, like Sandstorm Shroud? Evolve briefly combines the engineer and mercurial mold into one being, granting a host of benefits. A host of benefits. Aren't you very fucking funny? Oh no, we're Venom. That's kind of what it is. We become Venom. These benefits, however, are unique to each slime. There's different slimes you can pick? Okay. As you select your morph skills, your mercurial mold's composition is altered to change what happens when you evolve. Oh, that's cool. Okay. These compositional shifts called strains. We're Venom, yeah, okay. We can be red Venom, we can be black Venom, we can be what are the other colors? White Venom. It can vary from granting super speed and quickness to stunning nearby enemies when you evolve. Amalgam's utility skills are stances. Okay, so I wasn't too sure, like, if you pick the stances to the utilities on the toolbar flip over. That was my next question. So I guess you can choose the toolbar skills individually. So they get 10 utilities that they can choose from. Oh boy. Alright. The Mercurial Mold can assist you to shift your form, making you as dense as steel or light as a feather. With the skill Liquid State, you can even melt down into a puddle. Yeah, that animation was pretty cool. Alright, here's the big one. Alright, Razah. Centuries ago, the hero who defeated the fallen god Abaddon met a strange entity imprisoned deep within the realm of torment. Razah, a being born to the mists, freed by Abaddon's death to seek their own purpose in life. Razah chose to accompany the hero across Tyria, and their boundless curiosity led them to study and master any number of martial and magical disciplines. Okay, that's kind of genius as a way to invoke everything. But Razah's story seemed to have ended with their companions. No one has seen or heard from them since. They may have returned to the mists to wander or fall into the corruption they once feared. They might have learned to mimic human behavior precisely enough to live 100 years in obscurity. Or they could have been watching our world, still learning and waiting for someone like you. Alright, harness the mists. After the complexity of having two different legends in the form of Saint Victor and Archimedes in Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, we wanted to focus on a single legend that offered a equally unique experience. As a denizen born of the mists, Razah is the first living legend to assist the Revenant in their adventures. The first living legend. That's cool. So that opens the door to being able to invoke anybody. But I figured that my guesses were going to be you could invoke either all the dervish spirits, Menlo for monk maybe would have been cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm with it. With the conduit, we wanted to portray the multifaceted nature of Razah's unique link to the mists. Thus, the elite specialization was designed to have a malleability and flexibility that reflects Razah's ability to transform into any profession by amplifying the Revenant's connection to the mists. The conduit can tap into a deeper well of power through the legends they choose to channel, further augmenting their existing strengths. So yeah, it works pretty much the way I assumed then. Okay, Legendary Affinity. Yep, that's exactly what I expected. As the conduit, you gain the ability to use Cosmic Wisdom, allowing you to further channel the powers of your equipped legend, giving rise to different forms. As an example, using Cosmic Wisdom with Legendary Assassin stance equipped gives access to Form of the Assassin. This is why we didn't get Assassin. Granting the conduit bonus power and movement speed, as well as inflicting debilitating conditions on foes you strike. Cosmic Wisdom only lasts for a short amount of time, but it can be extended through the use of Affinity. Affinity is a new resource that represents the strength of your connection to your legend. So it doesn't replace your skill bar with new skills. It gives access to the Form of the Assassin, granting the conduit bonus movement speed, as well as inflicting debilitating conditions. Okay, so it's just like a buff then. Alright, well, we'll see how it goes as we get deeper here. Affinity is a new resource that represents the strength of your connection to your legend. Affinity can be gained through using any legendary skills that cost energy. Each point of affinity you gain increases the duration of Cosmic Wisdom by a set amount. However, you lose all affinity as you swap legends. So you want to actually camp a legend. Thanks to the power of Razah, conduits gain access to legendary entity stands, bringing with them various skills that harken back to when they wandered Tyria as a hero. Each skill in the legendary entity stance has an effect called Resonance. A bonus effect that comes into play if the corresponding legend is equipped in the other slot. For example, Beguiling Haze normally shadow steps you to your target while performing a quick attack on them. However, when Legendary Assassin Stance is equipped as your second legend, the skill becomes an AoE skill, allowing conduits to shadow step even without a target, and strikes all enemies in the vicinity. Okay, that's pretty sick. They don't cover anything on the Scythe? Nothing on the Dervish? Okay, so it's the Dervish Razah's stance then?
Niche powers that have...
It is then. So, well, so that's what those are then. So let me just pause or mute this. So you invoke Razah, and Razah would be all the yellow ones. So that is like Yawis buff, I'm gonna guess. Throws hammer. The shield, actually the shield might be the Yawis buff. That's the Shiro teleport it just said, right? That would be Malik's probably, I would assume. That applies conditions in a massive AoE if Malik's is in your second slot. Invoke Shiro. Yeah, invokes Yawis. So this is like the secondary connection and what have you. And then That happens so quick. So yeah, that's Razah's skill for the actual, like, um, legend itself, I'm guessing. So it would have, like, 5 buttons, the auto attack, and then 4 buttons attuned to, like they said, Shiro for the first button, Yalis for the second button, Mesmer for the third button, and Monk for the fourth button. So then are these utilities? Yo, that size is sick as fuck. Oh wait, that's just a staff. That's literally just a staff skin. Although that's different. Whatever that huge ass strike is. Let's see if there's anything else that it shows. Yeah, so that massive strike with the scythe. Although, like, yeah, it's weird that they made Razah a dervish because he's a fucking ritualist in Guild Wars 1. But, you know, whatever, we can work with it. I'll take it. So it's dervish in some sense, but not a complete return to form. Not a complete dervish. But it is close enough, I guess. We'll have to see how it plays. It's Schrodinger's dervish. Let's call it that. That'll make a good title. That'll make a good title. Okay, so all in all, closing thoughts. Evoker evokes a specific specialization and sticks with it, and then that's how you get the dude. So they did do the singular spec, although they didn't show it at all in this. This looks like another just multi-stance switcher. This looks like Budget Catalyst, the way they showed this in the trailer. So, yeah, your marketing team needs help. But it being an actual, like, evoke single element, stick and single element, big fan of that. That'll make me actually want to play Elementalist and actually give it a try this year. So that'll be fun. The Fire Wizards are hopefully going to have something to work with in that category. Amalgam being basically Venom is kind of cool. Definitely not what I expected in the slightest, especially not with that icon either. I mean, I guess with it being like the silver slime that you like transition between forms and stuff, like, okay, the icon kind of makes a little more sense now. The icon for Conduit still makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Oh wait, is it Razah spikes? Is that what it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on top and then 4 on the bottom, which is the 4 legends that you would invoke. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. That makes sense now. That was smart. Good one. Yeah, Razah was not my guess whatsoever. Everyone just assumed a dervish altogether, but yeah, that's kind of cool. So we get assassin, monk, and dervish, technically, air quotes, technically, all in one spec. So they did, in a way, give us every Guild Wars 1 spec that was missing, all in one expansion. We got Paragon, Ritualist, Assassin, Monk, Dervish, all in one expansion. Theoretically, because of Revenant. Alright, I wasn't too sure if they were gonna do it or not, because I figured that Assassin, or Thief would get Assassin or what have you, but that explains why Thief didn't get Assassin, because the power budget for Budget Assassin went to Conduit instead. So yeah, that is... I feel like most people still wish that Thief got Assassin rather than fucking Antiquarian, because Indiana Jones is not the vibe. But like... I still think the same thing applies that I said before. I genuinely think that if Amalgam and Antiquarian swap places, there wouldn't really be anyone angry. Like, people would be mostly mad that, like, what is it? The Paragon doesn't have enough wings. That's, like, the only other complaint that I had and that most people had. And genuinely, I think if you flipped Antiquarian and Amalgam, and Thieves got to become, like, Venom... Dude, everyone, you know how much more hype that would be? If Thieves could be Venom, people would go crazy. The fucking transmogs with that shit. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, so, all in all, definitely gonna play Conduit. 100%. I gotta make a Revenant now. I gotta replace my fucking Azuran Lab Walker that holds one button. And then, yeah, Evoker as a 1-spec Ellie is kind of what I was expecting, kind of what I was hoping for. And, yeah, we'll have to see how it plays with the gameplay trailers, which I believe are going to be, or not gameplay trailers, the gameplay live streams, which I believe are going to be on the 10th. So I will take a look at that when I get the opportunity. And otherwise, let me know your opinions down below. Take care.